Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome, everybody, to this Procure4Health webinar. So today we will be introducing the call for Twinnings that we have launched the previous week. And my name is Maria Bernabé. I am a project manager from Tech Biomed, one of the Procure4Health partners. And today, let me introduce you to the speakers for today's webinar. And first of all, we will have Carlos Larrañeta giving a presentation regarding the Procure4Health community. So he will be explaining an overview of our community that have been already launched. And then we will go in depth with the call for Twinnings, what the call for Twinnings entails and the application process. So we will have Magnus from Innovation Spawn and Ali from Healthcare Without Harm introducing this part, the main part of the webinar. So now the participants are joining. I think that some seconds more and we will start. And I wanted also to let you know that you can write your questions in the Q&A box during the presentation. And after the presentation, we will have a live Q&A session where we will answer all these questions. So feel free to send us by the chat your question and doubts about the project and the call for Twinnings. And we will be more than happy to reply all of them after the presentation during our Q&A session. So I think that I would like to give the floor to Carlos, the project coordinator from Fundación Progreso y Salud. So Carlos, the floor is yours. You can start.
Okay, thank you, Maria. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm going to share now my screen. Oh, sorry, why isn't it here? Oh, here it is, down here. Okay, now I hope you can all see my screen. It's in full moon. Okay.
Yes.
So, Maria said, my name is Carlos Larrañeta. I work for Fundación Progreso y Salud, which is part of the Regional Ministry of Health in Andalusia. And I am the project coordinator of the Procure4Health community. I'm going to be brief in my presentation, just with the aim to provide a little bit of context of who we are, what are we doing, and what are our objectives in this community. Okay, who are we? We are a group of procurers interested in doing more and better procurement of innovative solutions to tackle the challenges our health and social care systems face. We started with 33 members, 19 of them are procurers, health and care service systems. And we have on board a group of supporting organizations such as regional development agencies, or some of the consultancy services with a big experience in procurement of innovation. What is innovation in procurement? Why are we so interested in procuring innovations? Which are the benefits? Well, procuring innovation is to buy research and development services that are not research and development service to develop innovative solutions that are not yet available or do not exist on the market or that are not widely available in the market. Which are the benefits of doing this? Well, procurement these innovative solutions has the potential to improve our public services. On the meantime, it fosters the industrial technological ecosystem around us. At the end of the day, it's a benefit for the citizens. In our case, in probably the most important topic there is for them, which is health. Some big numbers to provide the context and the potential that this tool has. Nowadays, public procurement accounts for approximately 14% of the gross domestic power in the European Union. If only we were able to achieve the objectives of using 3% of that budget for innovations, we will be talking about more than 60,000 million euros per year, which is more, to frame it, which is more than that the Horizon Europe program has for his 5 years extensions. And also to add on that, we can say that the expenses on the health topic it accounts for 10% of that amount of money. So it has big potential to improve our services, to have an impact, and we have the potential to have important resources to do this. So we launched our community, the Procure4Health community. Why? Because we understand the potential of this tool, but we also are aware that it's a complex tool that still faces some barriers. Moreover, if we are talking about joint cross-border procurement of innovation projects, it faces barriers such as fragmentations of the health and care systems, legal differences, bureaucracy, language barriers, lack of skills, risk aversion. So we aim to learn from each other, expertise, share knowledge, launch joint procurement of innovation projects, and with all this work and all our learnings to have an impact on the policy and strategy. So in order to achieve this, we have launched the Procure4Health community. We've been up and running for 10 months already, and we have a number of activities that are already available for you to engage on them and to take advantage of them. We have a platform ready where you can register and you can access to create resources to guide you through each step of the process. We have working groups, discussion groups, working either on the, let's say, process of the tool itself, how to learn, how to understand each of the steps that has to be taken, and what are the problems and how can we overcome them. And we also have working groups, once again, working on hot health topics, trying to identify common needs to launch joint innovation procurement projects. At this moment, we have 3 working groups that are already up and running. They are working on digital health, sustainability, and integrated care. We are about to launch 2 more on precision medicine and resilience of health and care systems. As I said before, we also have the commitment and the expectation from the European Commission to learn about the tool itself and to propose strategies to improve the efficiency of it and to move those strategies and plans to improve it to the European Commission to take them into account. So, as I said before, we have our online community open. It is open for anyone to register. We have to say that we are a group of procurers that are promoting the innovation in the healthcare sector from the demand side. We are the final recipients of those innovations. So this type of procurers, health and care systems, is our main focus. But as I said, the platform is up and running and open for new members to register and to take advantage of all these activities and to engage in all these activities. So please stay tuned, register, follow us, and that's it from my side. Now I give the floor to the important part of this webinar, which is explaining the launch, the launch of the call for Twinnings we just did last week. That's it from my side. Thank you, Maria. I'm gonna stop sharing now.
Thank you, Carlos. So for that introduction, and thank you, Maria, as well. My name is Magnus Wallengren. I work at a company called Innovation Skåne, the southern part of Sweden, and we are going to add a little bit more detail to this opportunity that we have now published from the Procure4Health project, the so-called Twinnings, and how each of you can apply and participate in it. So I'm gonna be sharing my screen as well, which I hope is fine now. Yes, on the note that Carlos brought up earlier, before we get into the actual details of the Twinnings opportunity, I want to go back to how we consider what we consider to be the key essence of innovation procurement and the purposes of it, and why we strongly feel that it matters. I think we can all agree that the current situation, the current state of affairs that the health and care providers and public services providers in general face at the moment, the challenges that they face are great and very difficult to address. On the other hand, we can also understand that these challenges are very difficult challenges and challenging to address only by the public service provider by themselves, but would need the added value of company services, suppliers, products, whatever can be provided to address the challenges that the public service providers have. And we feel that it is we feel that these two actors need to meet to be able to address those challenges. And we also feel that the instrument of innovation procurement creates that it is actually the perfect interface between industry on one hand and public service providers on the other hand, giving them the opportunity to collaborate around the societal challenges that are highly valid today and will be so going forward as well. So we feel this is the key essence for using innovation procurement, basically in the collaboration around unmet needs and societal challenges. Going back to the map of the partners in the Procure4Health consortium that Carlos just mentioned, I think it's obvious that we cover a large range of both member states in the EU, but also additional partners from outside of the EU, creating a very wide net of actors that can support in this movement. What we speak of today is really the community building perspective of the project, and how we can actually support in the building of capacity around innovation procurement, not only for the partners in the project, but for any service provider or healthcare provider in Europe. for all kinds of providers to be able to take part, build capacity in innovation procurement, and use that capacity and newly acquired knowledge to address the challenges that they face. But how do we do this? How do we address this strategically and tactically? To be able to build capacity in innovation procurement, we must first understand the process of procurement of an innovation or an innovative product. We must understand that it is not quite a simple procedure, but rather a process of a series of connected steps, each with its own logic and purpose, each step that needs to be understood, addressed, and implemented. Starting with the preparation phase, exploring the unmet need, what is the challenge that you're facing, understanding how you can address and approach that challenge in terms of a procurement procedure, implementing the actual procurement procedure, and as a final step, having the results of it deployed and implemented in your organization or the ecosystem where you are in. Each of these steps needs to be understood and addressed to be able to go through the full procedure of deploying the innovative product and addressing your unmet need. So how do we do this? For each of these steps, we can understand that there are a range of different questions and concerns that need to be approached. From the very beginning, what is the unmet need? What types of products or services are available on the market? How do we collaborate in developing new types of products that address our specific need? And how do we deploy them and create a market for scalable products at the very end of the process? So to be able to understand and address these questions, we in the project have first published our so-called catalog of resources, the capacity building catalog, which is available in the Procure4Health platform. So, a large set of resources supporting procurers in reading up on these different steps and understanding better how to head on in their journey for procuring an innovation. But what we will speak of today is rather the capacity building partnerships of Twinnings that we have just published and launched from the project. These are partnerships for knowledge transfer between two or more procuring organizations, which can find similar needs, similar situations, or a potential of learning between US partners. So that is what we are discussing today. So what is the opportunity? Well, you have the opportunity to submit an application and receive up to 30,000 euros for any type of capacity building activities that is related to building capacity in innovation procurement, which can enable your team and your whole organization to take the next step in procuring innovations. It can be related to any one of these 4 steps that we thematically presented below: the exploration preparation phase, the procedure preparation phase, the implementation, the collaborative development, and the deployment phase. But what does that mean a little bit more into detail? What you will submit and describe is any type of activity that is related to those steps. That can be traveling that you need to do to understand your partner's capacity better, learn from them. You can have shared workshops, study visits. You can have different types of studies or analysis made, situational analysis, market analysis. They can be specific, they can be general, or other types of costs for external consulting and services, being, for instance, within legal, within procurement directives, IPR management, and so on and so on. The essence, as you have understood by now, is that these twinnings are proposed in partnerships between two or more organizations. And we have published a number of documents now on the platform where you can read up more on what type of activities that are eligible and what can be applicable both in general and to understand better what is suited for your individual organization or the situation that you are in. For instance, we can add a little bit more context on the types of activities that we would expect from a proposal. We can look at the first step of exploring the need and going through a preparation phase before the actual innovation procurement procedure is initiated. You would need to understand the specific challenge that is valid for your organization. You need to understand what's the state of the market, what's the current state of the art within the domain that you are focusing on. And you would need to understand how do we mobilize our organization to be able to go through the procedure and then being able to deploy the results of it. So as you can see, this is taken right from our documentation. Each of these steps is described by a bit more detail, a bit more examples for you to be able to understand better what would be the type of contents that is expected from each of these steps. Yes. So how would you go about to compile your proposal and get it submitted? Well, first off, obviously you need to identify and find a suitable partner for you to be able to submit the joint proposal. These can be partners with similar needs of yours, or they might even have applicable experiences which can be useful for you when you go about a similar journey that another organization perhaps have already concluded. The capacity building can be one directional, meaning that one partner has a great deal of experience that can be transferred to another, or they can be more kind of flexible or bi-directional, meaning that you have complementary experience that each of you can transfer to the other partner, which can be useful in different types of context or situations that they are in at the moment. So first up, that is what you need to do, finding a suitable partner. There are, of course, different ways of doing that. We will be mentioning a little bit about the matchmaking functionality, which is a part of the Procure4Health platform. Equally likely, I would suggest that you already are considering different partners that you have a current some kind of relations with, that you know from the past, previous collaborations, or have just perhaps heard that, well, this one seems to have a very great experience in what we're trying to address right now. Let's contact them. Of course, anytime there is no suggested procedure here, but what we are trying to do from the project is just to provide support in being able to matchmake if you haven't quite thought of a partner yet. Once you have done so, you compile and develop a proposal jointly, which is then submitted in the Procure4Health community platform. This platform will be presented a little bit more in detail later by our project colleague Ali. Going into a little bit of detail on what is expected as part of every proposal. All proposals must contain 3 different forms. First off, perhaps the one that you will spend most time on would be the technical form, describing your proposed Twinnings activities, the relevance of those activities, the relevance of the Twinnings as a whole for your organization and the partners in the formed partnership. You would also need to provide an eligibility form demonstrating necessary background and organizational status, formal matters, really. And lastly, you would need to provide a financial form describing the expected costs for the proposed activities and their total value. Typically, this is the type of table that we will be using for evaluating the different proposals that we will receive. This table for the different type of sections is very similar to what you will find in the technical form. When you describe your activities, you will need to describe them from the perspective of what is the excellence of your proposed twinning, what is an expected impact of the proposed twinning and the activities that you expect to implement, and how would you go about implementing the proposed twinning and its activities. All of these parts are weighed in slightly differently, as you can tell from this table, giving a total quality score of 100 points. What we will do then is we will balance the quality score with the proposed value that you have added in the financial form, giving us a combined ratio of quality 80% and price 20%, giving us a total score which we will use to rank all the received proposals. And a general timeline of what we are looking at is we just recently launched this call last week, I believe. Today we have this webinar introducing a little bit more detail on the matters. Obviously, all of the documentation in detail is available on the Procure4Health platform. We have a period of time for asking us questions if there are any clarifications that are needed from us in the administrative group. There is also a deadline for such questions, and I think that the most important date at this point is the deadline for submission of Twinnings proposals, which is the 31st of May. Then we go into contracting period. First of an evaluation period, a contracting period with the awarded proposals, and then the start of the Twinnings period and its activities. We expect that the maximum duration of a Twinnings partnership and activities will be 6 months. So I think that is where we are concluding. Find the community platform, register, and go into and use it. As Carlos indicated, there are several different tools and functions that we might find useful in the platform, but it is the primary source of communications also for this Twinnings opportunity. You will find all the Twinnings documentation in the platform. You will find the submission tool in the platform and the matchmaking functionality as well. So any type of questions, you can by all means use the Q&A session at the end of this webinar, but also contact us afterwards for any types of questions during this period. And most importantly, the deadline, of course, is the 31st of May. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Magnus. So I hope that this presentation and information has been very useful and helpful for our attendees. So as Magnus said, if you have a question, you can write them by the Q&A box, and then we will answer all of them after the presentation. So now is the turn of Ali from Healthcare Without Harm. So Ali will introduce the application process and where you will find the documentation kit to apply to the call for Twinnings. So the floor is yours, Ali. You can share your screen if you need.
Hello, good morning, everyone. And my name is Ali. I work with Healthcare Without Harm on the Procure4Health project. So I will pass it on the technical aspect of how you could submit your twinning, or how to find the resources for the twinning, and how to find a partner for the twinning. For that, I will share my screen and right. So if you are on the Procure4Health main website shared on in the previous slides, you will land up on the main page. This page, you could go for a call for Twinnings, and it would, if you're interested in Twinnings, you could read about it, and you could go to apply now, and it would directly redirect you into the main page of the community platform. To be part of the community platform, you would have to become a member as first, or if you're already part of the platform, you could just log in and it would directly link you to the main page. On the main page of the platform, you would have this navigation bar on the left side. This would be your guide to access any functionality of the platform, including the twinning call. If you do not see this completely, then there's two reasons: either that your organization has not been revised yet, or revised and admitted, or your organization has been listed as a supplier organizations, and supplier organizations have limited access to the platform or to the twinning call. In all cases, if you are in doubt, you could also always contact us, use the Q&A session to if you have questions on this or on any further information I provide. And for the twinning call, so you will have here the twinning call highlighted in big, and with an apply now, you could just drop down and you would see the three main important sections. In the first section, it would be the documents to how to download the application with a brief about the Twinnings. You would have here four main downloadable content. If you click any of these downloadable content, it would directly download it will start downloading your content. So make sure to have them all. You could have each content has different insight and different usage, including the application itself. So when you read this and you're interested to apply, as Magnus mentioned, you either have already a partnership with some other organization, or you are interested to find a partner with a new organization. So what you could do is you go to the second step of applying for twinning, and this is the matchmaking part, which is find a partner. When you click at this, you would see a list of expression of interest. So what you have to do here, let's say you're interested to offer something or to offer a trainee or receive training. So you have to go to my offers, and then you would have to go to an extra entry. You will be able to do an entry, and you have to select an expression of interest. So here, by searching, if you are searching for a potential partner to collaborate with and exchange knowledge in a particular area of interest, you have to select this option in order to express this interest. When you select it, you will have this template. This template would give you the opportunity to upload a photo and just give a title, write a little bit of description, add a video if you're interested to. So an example of this would be like the title is expression of interest to have an organization familiar with dealing with CO2 emissions with carbon emissions, or with decreasing carbon emissions within an organization, etc. This is a free space for you to use. You could add your video, but most importantly is you could add either you are expressing an interest to provide a capacity, or either you want to receive. So you could select either provide capacity building, or you want to receive capacity building on a certain topic. So this is for you to select. In addition, you could select the category of your twinning you're looking for. So you could select either sustainable, technical, innovation, procurement procedure, cross-border procurement, or organization cultural transformation. You have extra details. These are not mandatory, but you could say what is the implementation time and what is the estimated cost. In addition, and finally, you're free to upload any documents you think are important for anyone viewing your interest. So you can find this space here to upload documents. In case you find it as I see it here, so after you'll save this offer, then this will unhighlight or highlight to become clickable, and you would be able to click it and upload. Again, for any technical questions, any technical difficulties, please make sure to reach us and we would be very happy to guide you through. So when you upload your interest, it would appear on this page, like I have it here. This is an example. So what you would be able to do is click on find a partner, and you would be able to view all the interests other organizations have posted. If you're interested in this, you would see the filters you have selected on top. But if you are interested to view more, you can click it. You would be able to view the video, view other details, and you would be able to, most importantly, is contact the person who posted it. So in this case, because I posted it, I will not be able to contact myself, but I think I saw someone else post it. So for example, this one, I will have this message information, and by just clicking it, you will directly be linked to the chat, and you would be able to contact the person that posted this expression of interest. So you would be able to connect with other members through just simply visiting their offer or their expression of interest, and chatting with them for extra details, for more information details about their expression of interest and how can coordination happen to submit a twinning. The final step, when you have downloaded the documents, when you have find a partner, then the final step is to submit your application, which is step 3 of the twinning call. So by going to step 3, which is the submitting of the application, yes, you will have to it will appear this way. You will have to submit application. So it will ask you for the name of the organizations, and then it will ask you for contact details, and then finally it will ask you to upload the files, to upload all the files you downloaded from the first step of the twinning call. So you would be here able to submit your twinning call application for the review of the Procure4Health community. I think this is it, focusing mainly on twinning. And if you have any other question, as I said, you can mention it now in the Q&A, and feel free to reach out anytime to me for any technical problems or any technical questions, by also simply finding my profile on the members list, and then by messaging me using the message button, I'll receive a message and I'll be able to assist you in any technical problems on the platform. This is it from my end. Thank you very much, and back to you, Maria.
Thank you very much, Ali. I think that it's clear now, the application process. So however, we can answer the question now if somebody else has any doubts or question about how to apply or regarding the call for Twinnings. So now you can turn on your cameras, Magnus, Carlos, and Ali, if you want to, for the Q&A session. So let me start with the first question. Are Procure4Health beneficiaries or affiliated entities eligible for this twinning call? Thanks. So it's regarding the call for internal twinning. So Magnus, you can answer this question.
Yes, this opportunity that we're presenting today is only for organizations not part of the Procure4Health consortium. for organizations that are already beneficiaries in the Procure4Health project and partners in the Procure4Health project, there are similar available opportunities, but this is not what's being presented today. If you happen to be a partner or beneficiary, you should by all means contact us, and we will support you in what is available to you as a project partner instead.
Yes, maybe I can add on that for the project partners. We already have resources allocated, and it's part of our commitment and activities and responsibility to perform internal twinnings among us. So this is, as Magnus said, this is for health and care system of procurers, not members of the consortium.
Okay, thank you, Magnus and Carlos. And now one of our funding members is asking about this internal twinning. So is there any additional budget for the call for the Procure4Health members? So I think that it's related to the internal twinning. It is from one of our funding members.
Mm-hmm.
I think similarly as the previous question, it is these are already opportunities that is part of the project budget for current existing project partners. So my answer would be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. The next one. In my account, it's not working. This apply now. So in the probably it will be regarding the application, the first application process to join the community, the different level access, Ali. So you can have a look after the meeting from this person.
Yeah, but probably it's it belongs to an organization listed as a supplier, which are not eligible, no, are not beneficiary either for the direct funds for this call for twinnings. As Magnus appointed in the different eligible cost, consultancy services is an eligible cost, but beneficiaries can only be health and care systems, hospitals, and so on. So maybe this we can check because we have the name right away, but probably that organization is listed as a supplier. That's why it's not showing.
Ali has his price.
Yes, I'll need also to add on this because I've seen this question on the Q&A. It's many have asked the same question. So I would just suggest that if you reach out personally, because I need to know which organization precisely is your organization and if you're assigned properly and everything is well, and I could reply to you personally on what is the status of your application or your organization, if it's listed as supplier or an organization that should have access. So please reach out in person to my email or on using the chat on the platform so I could assist you in that case.
Okay, Ali, thank you very much. The next one is, can you clarify the scope with examples for external consulting and services?
I think that it's difficult, and we wouldn't want to give an exact list of services that is eligible for the project, but rather, if you we would recommend you to go into the documentation that we published last week and primarily read up on the invitation letter for this open call, which quite clearly states the purposes of the different activities that you would find relevant as part of the Twinnings activities, but also the types of services that can be eligible and relevant for your specific proposal that you would prepare and submit. I think that, for instance, going back to the slide that we shared about what would be typical activities as part of the preparatory step, and that would be anything related to the need identification process in your organization, a decent understanding of the current state of the art, which is very relevant for the challenge that you are addressing, and for each of the subsequent steps, the implementation of the procedure and so on. There are quite from that document and from that table, there are quite specific examples which will help you in understanding what type of services would be relevant for you to include in your Twinnings. If you have any doubts about what would be eligible and what would not, we encourage you to reach out to us so we can help you understand better what would be eligible and what is not.
Okay, thank you, Magnus. So the next one is my organization didn't appear, so I had to create a new organization and the left menu doesn't work. What should I do? It's to you, Ali.
Yes, I tried to check fast the member Rafael, but I couldn't find the members. So also I would suggest if you could send me a mail in private, I will reply to your answer with my email so I could follow up on this case in specific.
Okay, thank you. So we will contact you after the meeting, Rafael. And the next one is how long it takes to verify an organization. The section apply now from my profile is not working. So probably it's similar than the other one question.
Well, maybe
We have to check it.
we review new applications weekly, right, Ali? And in that case, if you just submitted your application, you can expect to have a response from us in a few days afterwards. But as I said, then it's the specific case of each applicant, so whether it's listed as a procurer or supporting organization, you have access to the apply now for the twinning calls. Otherwise, it's not available.
Okay. Thank you, Carlos. The next one. Secondly, are any of Procure4Health secondly, are any of the Procure4Health core partners able and interested in being a partner in this twinning call? We will be interested in learning from your expertise.
I think that makes up for kind of a special case that we haven't really considered. I think that as part of this opportunity that we are presenting today, we are expecting partnerships of fully external organizations from the project, so to speak. Indeed, it is, I believe, a general task of the project to be able to share wisdom and knowledge that we have, built up during the project to internally, but also to share that to external partners. But that will not be a part of what we are presenting today.
Yes, just to add on that, exactly, Magnus is right. The call for twinning and this opportunity to fund is from members that are not part of the consortium. We cannot let's say, hybrid partnerships between a member and a non-member of the consortium. It has to deal regarding the funding rules of the European Commission and double fundings and things like that. But the community is open for new members to engage into our activities and to be able to learn from everything we are doing. So I will encourage these organizations and the persons to join and stay tuned and engage into any activities that we have already available to learn from the expertise of the members of the consortium.
Okay, perfect. So the next one, it says there then a deadline to be fully finished by December.
Freeze.
I can pick up the question.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
So the question in the chat was the time frame that was mentioned for a Twinnings project is expected to be 6 months, and if that means that we expect the Twinnings activities to be fully finished by December or the turn of the year, or if these 6 months can be since the beginning of the project, whenever this would be. Of course, I think we're going to need a little bit of flexibility here, because the start of in the timeline, the table that we were presented before, we expect a start of Twinnings activities from the 1st of July. Obviously, this is going to be difficult for many organizations being mid-summer. I think what we are saying is that we expect all Twinnings activities to be concluded within 6 months, not necessarily by, and those 6 months starting when it is appropriate for the Twinnings partnership to start them. Probably most partnerships would not start activities on the very 1st of July, being midsummer, but perhaps 1 or 2 months later, and then that would be the starting points, and the 6 months would be counting from that. I think, and we should also mention the purpose why we have added this kind of a limitation, which is also mentioned in the launch documents, that this is the first open call that we are implementing, and we are also expecting to have a second open call later in the project. So we need to have time to conclude this first one to be able to start the second one later on. So that is why we have a time limit, basically.
Okay. Next question is, will you open a call for supplies later? Maybe I can take that. Okay. As I said before, we are a community devoted to promote the use of procurement, of the use of the procurement of innovation tools in the demand side, from the demand side. At some point, we have to engage with suppliers, but the scope of our projects is not to capacitate the suppliers. There are other similar initiatives to ours, focus on the other side, the provider side. What will be an opportunity for suppliers within the activities of our community is to engage into the market analysis and open market consultations that we have to do for those joint and met needs that we find in the activities of the working groups. But that's a different topic from the scope of this project, so of this webinar. So, I mean, once again, we are accepting suppliers into the platform because at some point we will need suppliers, and there will be opportunities for suppliers regarding market analysis and open market consultations, but it's not the purpose of the Twinnings. It is to capacitate procurers.
Sorry, Carlos, I have some troubles with the internet connection. So now question not appear for me in the Q&A box. I don't know if there is any.
I think we just answered the last one I have here.
So probably there is anything else to be replied.
I think we reply all the questions that are in the Q&A feature of the webinar. So
okay, so I thought that one more was in the, yeah, now there is one here. I know it's the same one that
it's the same one that I just answered.
Yeah, okay. we will contact you, Rafael, after the meeting to fix the problem and to let you know what do you have to do. Okay, so I don't know if somebody else has any more question or. Okay. So you can contact us by our webpage, and we will try to help you in every doubts and question you have regarding the twinning calls and the platform. And if you join the platform and you are a member of our community, online community, we will chat. We will use the chat to solve your doubts and your questions. So you can contact us directly, all of us, because we are in the members group. So you can send us a direct message by through the chat. So if you join the community, you will be able to contact us, and we will be more than happy to reply to your question and your doubts. Okay, so if nobody else has any more question, I think that we can conclude the webinar. So thank you very much, everybody, for attending this webinar today. And remind that the deadline for submit the application is the 31st of May. So you have time to do it and to send us your questions before the deadline. And thank you very much to today's speaker, Magnus, Ali, and Carlos. It's a pleasure, as always, to work with you and to arrange these kind of webinars jointly. So thank you very much, and see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.